Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Astrology with your friend Gretchen Heidel, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, and so much more. And I am here going over This Week in Astrology, June 26th, 2023, all the way until next Sunday, which is already July 2nd of 2023. So if you are just joining me live, welcome. I am also co-recording for YouTube simultaneously. So welcome everybody who is joining me live. If you are joining me live, hello Andrea, welcome. I assume that you can hear me. Go ahead and post below your astrological sign, where you're tuning in from, what area of the country or even the world, because we do have people viewing now from all over, even outside of the US. So welcome. This is Monday night. We had a big week last week. I mean, we had the sun moved into Cancer. We even had the new moon, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. So we had a lot of big energy going on in the astrological realm. We had 3 different asteroids even changing astrological signs last week. A little like kind of all over the place or discombobulated in any way for you. That would be why that it was kind of like a weird week where it was kind of all over the place. We had that very high intensity situation going on with the submarine, and unfortunately that didn't work out very well, but yeah, there was just a lot of pressure. It felt very intense, I felt like last week. And we had a lot of astrological energies going on. That was why. Hello, Almir. Welcome, Taurus, Sagittarius, and Cancer placements with North Node and Gemini. Love that. Naomi tagging all of her really good friends. Lovely. Hey, Terry. Welcome from Aquarius from New York. Welcome. I love that you guys are tagging all your friends in this. And so go ahead and, like I said, like and share and post below. I love that. We had the half moon today. I'm recording here on Monday night. It's our typical Monday night date on June 26th, and we had the half moon. It was actually the second quarter lunar cycle. So now today on Monday, we are halfway between the last new moon that took place already. I feel like it's been a hot minute there, but already June 25th was the last new moon, and then the next full moon is coming up on Monday, July 3rd, and that's going to be in Capricorn. That's going to be the full moon in Capricorn. Hey, Robin, welcome. Gemini in the house, right? And so we are now at the halfway point. So today specifically, it happened at 3:50 a.m. Eastern time, so kind of while we were sleeping today on Monday, and that was in the astrological sign of Libra. So think about balance, fairness, beauty, diplomacy, having to get along, mediation, and all that, especially at this halfway point. Remember that I have nicknamed this event the second chance new moon. Okay, so that was today. That is today. So if you haven't written your new moon manifestation list, you can do it now, like ASAP. Do it after the broadcast is over. And so this is the second chance new moon, but it is a time where we sort of have to like kind of figure things out a little bit more. So the new moon, if you think about the farmer planting the new seeds during the new moon, now the seeds are sort of starting to sprout, and do they need more fertilizer? Do they need more sunlight? How's that going with the new moon energy? And so basically that's what we have to do during the second chance new moon. So they do call this like sort of a time of kind of like reevaluation in a way on the second chance new moon. That's basically when it ends up happening. And so that was today, 4 degrees Libra. So where is Libra in your astrological chart? And in order to know how this will affect you on a personal level, it's where the sun currently, in Cancer, and then squaring Libra in the moon. And so that's basically what happens. The square is where we feel maybe a little tension. So whenever The moon is in Libra, especially at these like sort of halfway points, because if we look in the sky, it looks like half of a moon, even though it's called the second quarter lunar cycle. It's kind of confusing. Basically what the deal is that we might have a little bit of strife, maybe even in the area of relationships. Libra rules over our relationships. So what's our relationship status like right now? Did you have to get along, try a little harder to get along with a coworker or a neighbor or a best friend or whoever? Sometimes Libra is about that, where we have to sort of mend fences and we have to kind of, eat crow and all that kind of stuff going on. So that happened today, like I said, on Monday. Even though I'm kind of talking about it after the peak of it at 3:50 a.m. Eastern time, or 12:50 if you were out on the West Coast right after midnight, it still is reverberating. We're still feeling that. So if you're wondering like what the heck was going on today, that's what was happening. And the other thing that there was a lot of energy today. The other big news that happened today was Mars formed a square with Uranus. Whoo! So Mars in Leo, squaring Uranus in Taurus. That's some tension. The peak of that was also this morning at 5:23 a.m. But make no mistake, we are going to feel that for several days. Even we might have been feeling it over the weekend, even and now. Mars is the god of war. Uranus is surprises, shocks, unexpected events. Something from out of nowhere. I've gotten texts from people today that got flat tires or just different things happening. So if you had any kind of shocking, unexpected thing that happened, that was why. Mars, as you know, is inflammatory, so can be anger, can be literally fire, can be aggression. Mars is also action and energy, and Uranus is just the shocker, My shocker today, I came home and I found that my turtle had been kind of rearranging his little cage, which he usually does. He actually has a huge cage, but whatever. And he knocked over his like box that he hides in, and it was a cardboard box, and somehow it jammed underneath of his heat lamp. And when I picked up the box to move it, there was a hole burnt in the box. Like it was like gone, like it had like started to quasi catch on fire, and I was not home. So that was my that was my shocker today. So if you think about Mars square Uranus, that was so if you had anything again like that happening today, that basically is what the deal is, where Mars was square Uranus today, the peak of it. But remember, this is a slow moving one, so we probably were feeling this a little bit on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today, and even Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, this will still be active. So that was a big one. And the other big thing that happened today, and that again is going to be going on for actually a couple weeks, is Mercury moved out of Gemini. So Mercury is no longer in Gemini. We are really getting deeper into Cancer season. So last week on the 21st was the summer solstice. That's when the sun moves into the astrological sign of Cancer. And then today on Monday, again, June 26th, Mercury moved into Cancer. Home and family, feelings, emotions, and Mercury is all about how we talk and communicate and express ourselves. And now we're in sensitive Cancer. So, people get their hurt feelings during Mercury in Cancer. It's very sensitive. It's good to have talks about feelings, emotions. That's not a bad thing. I mean, it is a good thing to be able to express ourselves and to communicate. And if we have to be vulnerable and tender and sentimental, this is the time during Cancer season, especially with Mercury in Cancer. But the caveat is that people are receiving the information in a very tender and sensitive and maybe even ouchy kind of way. And boy, Cancer is the crab, right? Those little crabs hold on to things like our toes and seaweed and different things. You ever see a crab catch a fish? They'll just catch a fish and hold on to that thing. So again, Cancers can hold on to things too long. This is the time that grudges can be made and things like that. I'm always saying, look, if you want to hold on to your grandma's old dishes or you want to hold on to family photos, that's great. Hold on to that stuff. But try not to have anger or pain that you're holding on to, because that's just yucky. I mean, it's easier said than done, I know, but it's just for some reason we tend to really hold on to those kind of like harsh emotions. And so that can be something that happens in that Cancerian sort of time. But again, it's home and family. It can mean that we're going to communicate more with people within our clan, within our family, or even if your family is more your friends, or a community where you live, that it's whoever you consider to be like your family. The United States is born under the sign of Cancer and has a lot of planets in Cancer. People always go, the United States has a birth date? Yeah, it's called 4th of July. And it's Cancer season. So we are very clannish, us US folks. Don't come over the border. We're very clannish. That is a Cancerian trait. And so not everybody here is like that, but I'm just saying that's a tendency for Cancers to be very much about their peeps, their homeboys and homegirls, whatever it is. So we have Mercury moving into Cancer. Again, Mercury is how we think and talk and communicate. So Mercury is our brain activity, our mind. But when we get into the mind being in the sign of feelings, then those feelings and thoughts can get really mixed up and intermingled. People often forget, and I am here to remind you, what is the difference between a thought and a feeling? A thought is something that comes into our mind. A feeling is something that comes into our body. How do you know you're sad? How do you know you're happy? Right? So these are sensations. How do you know you're anxious? Well, a lot of people will tell me, oh my God, my chest gets tight, my hands get, sweaty. I start to breathe really fast and, whatever, or I hold my breath, or I clench my teeth. How do you know that you're pissed? You get your fist kind of, even clenches, or you feel it in the gut, your pit of your stomach. That's all feelings. So when we have Mercury in the sign of feelings, our thoughts and our feelings all of a sudden sort of become a lot more, it's harder to sort of discern between what is a thought and a feeling. A thought, they just come and go. God, we have thoughts all day long. Many of us have thoughts. And they say 80% of our thoughts are not positive. So it's, what are we telling ourselves about that? What are we, because this is a time where we could get run away with our feelings and our emotions, and especially if it's negative, we don't want to do that. It's not fun. Yes, Terry said it has been a crazy day. Hey, Wendy, hello from Vermont, Aquarius. Sarah said, great. Naomi, this is not good news. Uh-oh. Ashley Jean, hello, Virgo sun. A different Ashley. I wonder if that's why we keep going back to family values. Yeah, exactly. That is very much a Cancerian trait, is that family values, and so, or made in America, or keep it, again, we don't always do that, but that's the sentiment of the United States being considered to be patriotic. That's that Cancerian sort of way. Obviously not every Cancer is this way, but I'm talking about archetypally. And so basically we're starting this tonight, actually, while we're in the broadcast. It might even be right now. I'm not sure what time it is. 8:24 p.m. Eastern time. So if you are watching this 5:24 p.m. on the West Coast, or in a different country, it's a different time. And that's going to last for the next several weeks. Mercury is going to be in Cancer all the way until July 11th, 2023. So for a couple weeks. And And so this is basically what the deal is, where we're going to have the sun in Cancer this whole month, and now Mercury's in Cancer. So we're getting into Cancer season, like I said, and that's basically home and family. We're going to be very sentimental, very nostalgic, wanting to be with our peeps, our home, homeboys, homegirls, our friends, whoever it is that we consider to be like family. It doesn't have to be, look, home, oftentimes I'll say to people, oh, home and family's activated, and they're like, well, I have an RV or I have a tiny home. Yeah, that's still your home. Home is where the heart is, right? So wherever your version of a home is, could be your Prius, I don't know, like whatever your version of your home is, and then family, whatever your version of family is. Home and family is basically what the deal is. The fourth house in our astrological birth chart is actually the ruler of the fourth house is Cancer. So basically it's all about home and family right now. And if you have any activity in that department, that can often mean a time of moving or relocating or refinancing if you have any planets currently transiting that area, or where is Cancer in your chart. And I always say, how do you feel this time of year? I mean, all the way from the end of June going into most of July, how do you feel during Cancer season? And that will even give you a clue about how Cancerian energy affects you. So that's basically what the deal is. So today at 8:24 p.m., a couple minutes from now, the Mercury is going to move into Cancer. We'll be feeling it right as we speak during this broadcast. And so that's going to be a fun thing that we're going to be going through. And Liz said yes. Sun in Aquarius, 8 planets in her fourth house of home and family. That is so many planets. So home and family, Liz, is probably a big value for you, and also a big area of homework for you. I always tell people, if you have more than 3 or 4 planets in an astrological house in your astrological birth chart, your natal birth chart, that means that you have a lot of homework in this lifetime pertaining to that, whatever area it is, whatever subject it is. You'll have what I call homework. And so that's a lot of things going on. Wendy Martin said, shoot, I have Lilith in your 4th house. What area is Cancer, do you know, in your astrological chart? Ashley said North Node is in Cancer. Okay, so in this life, Ashley, your North Node is what you aspire to do in this lifetime, your sort of destiny, or sort of like the direction or purpose of your life. And so Cancer, home and family. And not only is Cancer home and family, Cancer is a very intuitive astrological sign. And it's learning about how to feel and how to deal with all those emotional and to be vulnerable. I think I think 2 signs, well, 3 signs really have I think vulnerability is hard for everybody, but especially Cancers. Scorpios, and I would even say Capricorns, I've seen have real hard time expressing their warm and squishies. Even some Virgos too, that we really have to practice being vulnerable, being open. Crabs, they're not vulnerable. They're under they hide under rocks, and they have a shell, and they're protective, and they have pinchers, and it's like, don't get too close, I'll pinch you, And so that's basically what the deal is. So when we're in that space of feelings, you have to learn. I never advise people to become open, gaping wounds with all of their personal dramas and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying practicing with people who you love and trust, and start to express verbalize your feelings. Now, Mercury in Cancer can help us with that. It's just that, and you start with I feel, not you didn't do this. It's like, I feel, I feel sad, or I feel let down, or I even feel happy. And I always say, I have a little personal policy that when I hear somebody talking positively about another person behind their back, I always tell that other person. I always rat them out. I'll say, Betty Sue over there, she thinks you are absolutely gorgeous, or she thinks you did the best job ever, or she thinks that, whatever it is, I always pass it along, because you'd be shocked how many times, and I've done this for years and years and years, you would be shocked how many times the person has said, really? I didn't even know they liked me. All right. I wasn't even sure if they thought that was, you know, they're shocked. And I feel like we hold inside so many things that we feel, even that are positive, that we don't ever express to others. It's really shocking to me. How many times, I mean, I've done this for years. It's like my little social experiment in some ways that I've been doing this for so long. And people are always astonished. Like every once in a while I'll have somebody go, oh yeah, I know she loves, you know, my brownies, or she loves how I decorate, or she, you know, he thinks that I'm awesome sauce. Okay. Every once in a while that happens. Not often. Not often. Most of the time it's new news to them. They had no idea, and they're like, oh, and it makes them want to go over and talk to the other person. So I always have like I said, a positive thing that I like to repeat, good news that I've heard somebody else say about another person. I like to tell them, you know, so-and-so over there, they're your biggest fan, you know, and they'll be like, really? Like, it's always shocking. So anyway, so this helps us to express ourselves and talk about our feelings and to talk about our emotions in a positive way, and that we're able to articulate that and to become more vulnerable. Sometimes even sharing like, I'm such a big fan of yours. That can feel vulnerable too. Not just the bad stuff, not just the negative stuff, but also sometimes good stuff too. Yeah, Ashley Ann, oh, that's like, I only heard that your mom was proud of you and your artistry business until one of her friends told you. See, that's exactly the point. I think that it's too bad that we have trouble. And it's interesting because Ashley Ann, she might have just been one of those people that was like vulnerable for her to say that. I know that sounds weird. Like, why would somebody be vulnerable saying that they like you? But boy, you ever try to become, like as an adult, try to become friends with another adult? It's so awkward. I like you. Like, do you want to go out for lunch? You know, like it's just like, it's awkward. None of us want to be feeling like let down, and I don't know, like that are shot down and whatever it is. So anyway, so that is something I think that Mercury in Cancer can help us with. Cancer's not the most open sign. So this is about practicing being open with people that you know, you love, you trust. They're always the easy ones to practice with, and be like, hey, you know, I just wanted to tell you how I feel. Last week when you, I don't know, helped me walk my dog, I just felt like it was so special, and I really appreciate you. Sometimes that can be very, very vulnerable for someone to say. So hopefully that helps. And that's the little practice that we get, not just the negative emotions, because Cancer can be a little bit, like I said, grudgy, a little grumpy, a little pinchy crabby, you know, but it also has the other side of sentimentality and feelings. So I hope that helps. Now, if you are a Capricorn, Rosalie, hello, Capricorn in Vermont. If you are a Capricorn, like I'm seeing some Capricorns on the broadcast, I think Melinda joined as well, I'm not sure. Basically that this is your opposite sign of the year. Now, I want to say to you that also, and I haven't talked about that on this broadcast. Ding, ding, ding. Thank you, Rosalie. Rosalie sent me 50 stars. I appreciate it. If you guys want to send me stars, it's a little way of like giving this broadcast a little support. I very much appreciate it. Oh, good, Melinda. How are you feeling with your arm? I just was checking in. Melinda broke her arm. We have to send her lots of good vibes and energies. The left side, I remember I said a couple times I was going to tell you which. The left side of the body is the female side, Melinda. The right side is the male side. And the left side is, so it's about problems pertaining to women, girls, women, females, and or fear of the future or trepidation about the future. So the right side is males or problems with men and the past, and or the past. So it's females and or the future, and or males is the right side, and or the past. I hope that helps. If anybody out there has any history of struggling with, injuring a side of your body, that's basically what the deal is. And so if you like sprain your ankle, God forbid, or, you know, hurt your hand or whatever, take note to what side of the body is it on, and then sort of see what the deal is with the emotions that you're feeling. Are you have trepidation or fear about your future? Are you holding on to something that's pertaining to the past or men in your life? You know, so that's kind of the cheat sheet. I hope that helps. Yeah, so basically that's what the deal is. So there was a lot of astrological energy today. So we have the second chance new moon. We had Mercury go into Cancer during the broadcast, which is really fun. Mars was square Uranus, so we got this unexpected shock. And like I said, those things are going to be going on for a couple days. Now, tomorrow on Tuesday, May 27th, the north node of the moon is sextile Mercury. Now, last week, the north node of the moon was sextile the sun, and that happened on Friday and Saturday. Now we have on Tuesday and Wednesday this week, the 27th and the 28th, the north node is going to form a sextile with Mercury. The north node of the moon, if you remember, is in Taurus. Now Mercury is in Cancer. And so that's a sextile that's positive. Sextiles often present opportunity that requires some work on our part to have it come to fruition. So basically that's what the deal is. So we just had the sun sextile the north node, and remember, the north node of the moon is where are we going, where are we headed in our life, what direction, what's our fate, what's our destiny, all those types of things. That's basically what the north node of the moon rules over. So you want to sort of check that out. There might be some opportunity to speak, talk, communicate, or travel. Mercury's travel too. And so again, I just talked about how we are talking. This is great if you're in sales, if you have to give a pitch, if you have to write a proposal, because writing and speaking is all about what Mercury helps us with. So that is a really good thing. And that's coming to a height and a peak between Tuesday and Wednesday. So there's opportunity here again that we have, and we had some opportunity last week too. There's something going on behind the scenes, but we have to know how to capture it and then sort of bring it home. So hopefully that will help you guys. I always like to tell you when there's little nuggets like that sitting around us, because it's like, you know, what can I do? Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy peasy right off the bat. It means we have to work at it, but it's opportunity nevertheless. So keep your eyes peeled, basically. And where is Cancer and where is Taurus in your astrological chart? Both of those signs really have money in common. Cancers are usually quite frugal people, and people that I've met that a lot of Cancers are very good with their money, good with budgeting, good with like being crabby with their money. And Taurus is too. Taurus is about finance as well. So these two could really help us, you know, so figure that out where it's going on in your chart, but you might have just a little opportunity. And the other big news that is this week is actually happening. There's two things astrologically on Wednesday. Wednesday has Lilith. I always say Lilith. Lilith is forming a conjunction with Venus. Now, if you guys remember, last week I was talking about Lilith being conjunct Mars. See, we have a nice little pack of planets traveling through Leo right now. Mars, Lilith, Pallas Athena, and Venus all in Leo right now. So Lilith formed a conjunction last Tuesday with Mars. Now this Wednesday, Lilith is going to meet up with, and a conjunction means they're right on top of each other, meeting up together. Lilith is dark. Oh, you know, dark moon Lilith. That's what we call her. That's her nickname. So Lilith, and you might say, I've never heard of Lilith. What is she about? Well, Lilith is actually said to be the dark side of the moon, the side of the moon that we can't see. And she's dark and shadowy and mysterious, and she's very, very primal and sexy and raw. And she's kind of I don't want to say animalistic, but sort of, you know, she really is primal and based on her instincts. And so her meeting up with Venus is smoldering and hot. I always call Lilith, this isn't mythology, this is just a Gretchen thing. I always call Lilith Mrs. Pluto, because Pluto, right, is really dark and really shadowy, and really he was Hades, the lord of the underworld. Well, I'm always like, well, Lilith could be his wife, like in mythology. She wasn't, but she could be. Because I always say Pluto is like a forest fire, kind of burns everything down. So Lilith is more like a bonfire. And so she's dark. And so there could be trouble here in the love zone. Now, does it have to be trouble? No, unless if we let Lilith get away from us. Lilith can just be dark, and she can be shadowy and primal and mysterious and all those things, but she's also sexy, sexy, sexy. So it's almost a little bit like having Mars and Venus come together. I mean, the heat is rising. Okay, we'll just say that. So it's almost like a sexual thing that this ends up happening, but it's also a primal, passionate thing. And so, but she can be very dark. She can be very jealous. She can be controlling. And so we have to just watch that, especially in Leo. There can be some primal temper tantrums going on in Leo. Leo likes to have little temper tantrums like, how about me? What about me? What about me? Leo is ruled by the sun, the god, everything revolves around the sun, right? So we tend to think of, things in an egotistical way. Now, remember that Venus this year is going retrograde in Leo. Oh, thank you so much. Rosalie said her grandson sent me more stars. He's 5 years old and sending me 50 more stars. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But when we talk about Lilith is very primal. And like I said, she's very dark. So Venus is going retrograde in the sign of Leo this year. And so because of that, we're going to have 3 Venus conjunctions with Lilith this year. That is not normal. Usually we have one and done, one and done. That's it, one and done. But this year, because of Venus going retrograde, see, I told you, I've been talking about this since January, that really this whole thing is going to be a big deal with Venus retrograde, because basically it's our love life is retrograde. Anybody had their love life retrograde lately? I mean, Venus love life retrograde. So because of that, it's going to be having this interplay. Lilith is in each astrological sign for 9 months. Okay. And so because Venus is going to be in Leo for an extra long period of time. Usually Venus is only in each sign for 1 month. It's going to be many months. So we're going to be having this whole thing going on with this Venus retrograde. We're going to be getting a lot of lessons. So I'm going to just give you the dates, because I know some of you like to write these things down. So we're going to have on June 28th, they're going to come together as a conjunction. Okay. And that's going to be in Leo, like I said, this week. The height or the peak of it is 8:51 a.m. Eastern time, but you can think of this one as a week long. This is a whole week long. So don't be thinking it's just Wednesday, just one and done. No, this is hovering around for a whole week. So there's going to be some heat and some passion in the kitchen, a little fiery. It's going to be like a little. And then we're going to have August 7th, another Venus and Lilith coming together in a conjunction in Leo on August 7th. And then the third and final one, they're going to be coming together on October 9th. Now, the thing that's different about October 9th than the other 2 times is both of them are going to be by then moved into Virgo. So instead of it being, it's going to be Leo, Leo, Virgo. So instead of being in Leo, it'll be in Virgo at that point, because it'll have moved out of Leo's zone and into Virgo. So heads up, Virgos, if you have any Virgo in your chart, that's what the deal is. And we all do. We all have Leo and we have Virgo in our astrological chart. So that's what the deal is. So that's coming to a peak ahead, and things are getting hot with the love life. And we got to watch about jealousy and with Lilith, it's just so primal. We could like rage out. Like we could, she can be dark and she can be just kind of like wild, you know? So like I said, if Pluto was a forest fire, Lilith is a bonfire, but she's a pretty big bonfire. So she can get heated and passionate. So where is Leo in your astrological chart in order to know how this will affect you on a personal level? But just know we all have it. We all have Leo somewhere in our chart, even if that piece of your astrological chart is empty. There's a lot of activity. Mars is there too, and Pallas Athena is in Leo. There's a hotbed of activity right now in Leo. So if you're a Leo or even an Aquarius, you could be feeling this as an opposition in the sign of Aquarius. You will be feeling this, or Aries or Sagittarius. All the fire signs are going to be activated and fired up. Okay, so there's a lot of activity going on in the love passionate / passion zone. Oh, thank you, Rosalie. She sent 50 more stars. I really appreciate it when you guys send stars. It's a little financial like a tip or whatever that you can do when I'm on the live broadcast or even after. Wendy said Leo is in my 5th house. But isn't it in everybody's 5th house? No, it is not. It's specifically, you must be Aries rising. And if it's in your 5th house, it is true that Leo rules over the 5th house, but not everybody has Leo in their 5th house. So I always talk about the houses. Like if you think of a literal house, like someone builds a house, it's like that sign is the landlord. And then whatever sign you have in that house is the tenant. So if you want to think about it kind of in that way, for example, I have Sagittarius in my 5th house. So Leo is the landlord and Sagittarius is the tenant. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I feel like my screen is sort of breaking up just a little bit. So hopefully you guys can hear me. I love that you guys are giving me thumbs up and hearts and all that. It's just amazing. So I hope that clarifies. Rosalie, thank you. Tell Jackson I said goodnight. Putting Jackson to bed. That's so cute. Ashley said 5 planets in Sagittarius, including the sun. See, you're like me, Ashley. You must have Leo rising. Rita said she can hear me. Wendy said good. Okay, great. I'm having somebody's texting me, and sometimes that causes my my screen to blip out a little bit. I apologize. My iPad's getting a little old. She can't do as many things at the same time anymore. I kind of relate to her. Anyway, so we have Lilith and Venus connected together. So we're going to have that the whole week. And so Ashley Jean, Ashley Ann, you have Taurus rising. I'm not sure how you could have, let's see, 5 planets in, 5 planets in Sagittarius. Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that. I thought you were talking about the houses. Yeah, I understand that. That's perfect. Awesome. Sagittarius. Well, it's good that you have Taurus rising, Ashley Ann, because, that'll help you to ground, because Sagittarius is not that grounded, but that'll help you to be a little more grounded for a Sagittarius. Okay, so that's happening on Wednesday, but another thing is happening on Wednesday too. The sun is forming a trine with Saturn on Wednesday night, 9:43 p.m. Eastern time on the 28th this week, okay? And again, 6:43 p.m. if you're out on the west coast of the United States. So the sun in Cancer is forming a trine, which is positive, with Saturn in Pisces. The reason why it's called a trine is because both of the signs are in the same element. They're water signs. They're a certain degree apart, and I can never remember what the degrees are. It's geometry, but basically it looks like a triangle. That's what a trine is. And so we have the sun forming a trine. Trines are considered to be positive. So if you have to get something done, really we have last week and we had this week of opportunity. It's still going on. This opportunity thing is still going on. The end of the week last week and the early part of the week, or really even most of the week this week, except for this stupid, Mars square Uranus thing that happened today, we have more opportunity because on Friday, Mercury is going to form a trine with Saturn. So the sun on Wednesday, trine Saturn. On Friday, Mercury trine Saturn. So And Mercury is in Cancer now. See, the sun's in Cancer. So Cancer's the crab, Pisces is the fish. They hang out with each other. They're best friends. So this is a really good thing in reference to these two coming together. Trines are positive. This means that we can really get things done, that we can achieve goals, that we can bam, bam, bam. This is the time to like close deals, sign the dotted line, put something in bed, submit an application. You know, remember, there's a lot of times in astrology that I'm telling you guys, hang back a little bit. Don't make a big decision. Don't sign those papers. Well, that's not these 2 weeks. These 2 weeks, I'm saying go for it. Submit the paperwork. You know, ask the boss for a raise. This is the time to do it. And this is really the week where hard work can pay off. So if you want to initiate something new in your life, you know, maybe you want to start a YouTube channel, or maybe you want to, you know, whatever it is you want to do, have a big art project, or you always wanted to join a club, or whatever thing it is that you wanted to do in your life. This is the time to really, and Saturn is all about hard work. Saturn is our life lesson and our life's work, and also our like spiritual work right now. Like, what are we working on? What are we going to do? And again, it's all feelings and emotions right now. It's in water. Water signs are all about the feels. So, I mean, Cancer and Pisces are all about the feels. Where's Cancer? Where's Pisces in your chart? You'll know how this will affect you, but it doesn't matter. It'll affect everybody. And this is about hard work paying off. You know, there's many times I'm saying on the broadcast, like, there's hard work. You know, it's like, where's the payoff? Well, hello, we're getting to it. So this is it. This is the, you know, time to go big or go home. And Saturn, the thing I like about Saturn is he's not unrealistic. He can get goals to come to closure. Where like, I feel like Jupiter and Neptune, pie in the sky, you know, it's like, I wish one day I could be a billionaire and travel the world. That's like that, like wishful thinking, you know, kind of thing. Where Saturn is like, oh yeah, you want to get that thing? Let's do the thing. And here's the 10 steps it's going to take to get it done. And here's all the hard work. And by the way, you're going to work overtime. You're going to work until midnight. And you're going to do all the different things. But you're going to check everything off your list. And you're going to be realistically, can you get from here to here? Yes? Okay, then go for it. And that's Saturn's way. Saturn is much more practical. Now, Saturn is retrograde right now, so we have to keep that in mind. But it's still good. I think that this can really help us a lot. In fact, on Saturday, the Sun and Mercury are coming together in a conjunction. Sun and Mercury are going to be conjunct with each other on July 1st, okay, 2023 at 1:06 a.m. Eastern time. So it's going to be happening on Friday night for folks on the West Coast, or early on Saturday morning on the East Coast. And so remember, Mercury and the Sun are together right now in the sky. And this always happens. This is really now, Mercury is flying, okay? Mercury is now moving ahead of the Sun at this point. This always happens after Mercury retrograde is over. What happens is the Sun's here and Mercury went backwards, and went behind the Sun. Well, now Mercury's flying and catching up. Mercury's no longer direct. Boom, Saturday, and then goes ahead of the Sun. So that's basically what happens. So whenever these two kind of interact, the Mercury is always very close to the Sun, either behind, together, or in front of. So when we think about this is what's happening, and this is the time, this is go time. And especially since now things are really speedy with Mercury, it's speeding up, it's going to get real far ahead. It's going to go into Leo on July 11th. I mean, it's already flying ahead. It's just going to go through, it's going to zip through Cancer. We're going to go through the feelings, and then we're going to get right into Leo. So that's basically what the deal is. So this week, that's what a lot of stuff is going on with the Sun, Mercury. Now they're both highlighting Saturn. They're highlighting each other. So this is going to be a lot of talking and a lot of things. Debbie said, oh, Debbie, I'm so proud of you. Everybody please give Debbie a lot of props and accolades and big love. And really, we're going to hold her. We're going to hold her energetically, because she submitted the paperwork to get rid of the toxic ex out of the home. That's so hard to do, Debbie. That's really hard to do. So we're giving you big love, big hugs. Everybody like her. Give her lots of good energy and sending her lots of love, positive energy, Reiki, all that good stuff, because that's a hard thing to do, to get rid of somebody that, yeah, hard thing to do. Sometimes the angels have to take the trash out. That's my favorite saying, Debbie. Sometimes the angels help you to take the trash out. Lori said, so good to know, with a bunch of hearts. Wendy said, need to make some financial decisions. This is good, Wendy. And you said, it was so funny, you said last week you didn't know what I was talking about. And then you're like, oh yeah, there's a ton of contractors that are like no showing on you. Yucky. Oh, good. And Ashley Ann said your housing voucher finally was approved. Yay. Oh, that's so good. Very good. Very good. Congratulations. That's awesome. Everybody say congratulations to Ashley Ann. That was a very big deal too. Yes, Andrea said, congratulations, let the universe take the trash out. Hey, Kelly, she said she's running behind. Congratulations, Debbie, though, and Ashley Ann. I think that's wonderful, good news. Both of you are doing really good things. And see, this is the time to do stuff like that. Now, I actually have good news about a retrograde planet. I'm usually like, oh God, retrograde, blah, 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 yucky, this is not good. Not now. Not now. I have my favorite retrograde is starting this week. Can any of you tell me what my favorite retrograde is? Some of you might know what my favorite retrograde is. Anybody? It'll take probably a second to post. A couple people might know. Good retrograde news? Question mark, question mark. Yes, exactly, Kelly. Neptune retrograde, exactly. Kelly won. Kelly was the one to reply first. Awesome. So we have Neptune going retrograde this Friday. We're finishing out the month really strong, June 30th. Neptune is retrograde 5:07 p.m. Eastern time, so 2:07 p.m. if you're out on the West Coast. Pisces, Neptune and Pisces going retrograde. Now, why is this Gretchen's favorite retrograde? I'm glad you asked. So retrograde means to go backwards, right? Now, again, just to review, the planets don't actually travel backwards. It's an optical illusion. That's what we used to think before we had like real technology and telescopes and things like that. And the ancients used to go, oh, look, it looks like the planet just started going backwards. It's an optical illusion, but it doesn't matter. That's what we call retrograde in astrology and in astronomy. And basically what it means is the planet is now going backwards. So when Neptune is direct, Neptune is the planet of lies, illusions, delusions, confusion, foggy fuzzy, okay? And so Neptune is in fact, Neptune's nickname is Nebulous Neptune, because it's like, what in the heck is it? It's gas. It's like a planet made out of gas, it's all water. And so Nebulous Neptune, lies, illusions, delusions, confusion, escapism, addiction. It's like, ugh. Well, when it goes retrograde, it's the opposite of that. It's like truth. It's clarity. It's, now it's being able to really focus on what is the truth. Like, it's like the fog is lifting. God, I don't know if any of you live on the East Coast here. We've had terrible smoke from the fires of Canada. It's like literally we're in some kind of a foggy, smoky, weird thing. And so now the fog is lifting. Okay, and we can see clearly. Some of the biggest times, even in my personal life, because I've been keeping track of this. This is my job, right? So I keep track of this stuff. Has been when something was revealed when Neptune retrograde starts. So be on the lookout for truth. Now, it's not always easy. In fact, it can be quite painful. I had a thing in my personal life that was very painful, very, very painful, involving an ex. We will just leave it at that I discovered during Neptune retrograde. So Neptune retrograde is positive in the fact that it reveals the truth. Okay, so we're going to see stuff in the news. All of a sudden it's going to be like, oh, wait a minute, this one was concealing this and this and this and this behind the scenes, and all this kind of stuff was happening. So this is about really opening up, and I would rather just know. I'm an Aries. I'd rather just know the truth. Give it to me hard. I could take it, you know. That's what Neptune retrograde is about. Now, it doesn't have to be negative stuff. It can be positive stuff too. But it's truth. It's true. It's more truthful. And so definitely it's going to be retrograde now. So it's starting on Friday, like I said, June 30th, 2023. And it's going to go all the way until December 6th of 2023. So I actually like Neptune retrograde. It's my favorite retrograde. Out of all the retrogrades, it's my favorite retrograde because I definitely like to know, have clarity. So this is a time of clarity. I like Neptune retrograde. And the other thing is, Neptune is our intuition and kind of our dreams. Like I said, it can be a little pie in the sky sometimes, but now we're coming down to reality. Like if we were buying into a lie, or if we were buying into a scam, or we were buying into a hoax, or we were buying into a conspiracy, or whatever thing it is that was wasting our time, now Neptune is going to be retrograde, so we don't have to keep going down that path. We can say, oh, that thing is a total joke. I'm not going to do that, you see? So it's so much better, I feel, and it'll help us to make decisions, to have clarity. You know, it's you know, active for many months, June to December. So, I mean, that's a good thing, even though it's the end of June. It's really July to December. But okay, so we have a chunk of time to be in the reality and to have the clarity. And like I talked about, now Pluto is retrograde, Saturn is retrograde, now Neptune's going to be retrograde. And it always happens in the summer months where there's a bunch of planets that are retrograde. So I would rather have this, you know, going on. And even Saturn, we're trying to figure out what's wasting our time. Okay. Well, here we are with Neptune trying to figure out, is this wasting our thing? Now, Neptune is always intuition. It's just that when it's direct, it's also this confusion. So it's like, is this my gut, or am I having a gut feeling and a true intuition? Or is this like, what is this? Right? Because we're in confusion. But when Neptune is retrograde, again, starting on Friday, now we can sort of really see clearly and then have our intuition really like be much more clear, I feel. So yeah, so Wendy said, bring on the truth. It's about time. There's always usually whenever, because I've been tracking this for many years, many years. There's always a time when Neptune retrograde starts and there's something on the truth that was exposed, you know, like the truth has come out, you know, that kind of thing. So be on the lookout because that's going to happen. And again, when these large planets do this for months and months at a time, do we feel it as acutely as this week? No, but we will feel it for at least 2 weeks. I feel when we first start, it really is like in our face. It's because it's like, remember, planets go direct, they stop. Stationary retrograde, they start going backwards, stationary direct, and then they start going forward again. So remember, it's just kind of hanging around. So we want clarity. We want real clarity. So yeah, so that is a good thing. Ashley said that's great, that it will be going on for so long. Exactly. Ashley Ann said she loves that with blunt truth being a Sagittarius. That's awesome. Perfect. Finding the truth. Exactly. It was last year. Kelly asked when Neptune was retrograde. I can look it up after the broadcast. I don't have my book with me right now, but it was definitely last year. Sarah said, is my dog snoring? Yes, my dog is snoring. I have a pug, and I also have a Boston Terrier, but more the pug. He snores all the time. So yeah, if you're hearing noises in the background, that would be my pug. People who call me on the phone are always like, what is going on? Is that your dog? I'm like, yeah, he is the loudest snorer. Like, it's like an adult person, like with sleep apnea. It's bad. So anyway, so Neptune retrograde is starting, and again, it's in Pisces. It's been in Pisces for many years now. And so basically that's what the deal is. And so that's going to help us to find the clarity, find the truth. And often the truth is revealed, okay? Whether we like it or not, the truth is often revealed. And then I always say, at least if you know the truth, like if it's some fantasy BS stuff, I mean, how can you make good choices and decisions based on that? But when you have the truth, then you can make good choices and decisions. So that starts on Friday. So be on the lookout for that, because the truth is coming. And like I said, on Saturday, July 1st. So welcome to July. Okay, July of 2023. It starts with a bang on Saturday. Like I said, we have the Sun and Mercury forming that conjunction. And then we have Mercury forming a sextile with Jupiter on that day. And the Sun is forming a sextile with Jupiter. Jupiter's good luck, good fortune, optimism. Like I said, this week is week number 2 of opportunity. We have opportunities abound, okay, this week. Some of it's not easy, especially with Saturn. Saturn means we have to work at it. But Jupiter's now coming along to help us out. And Jupiter can be just bring on the good luck. And so that is a good thing too. Wendy said, bring honest contract. Remember, Wendy, my answer to you last week, forgive and forget and move on. Like cancel clear on those negative contractors, because they're in the past. Somebody said something about, what was it? I think it was Andrea, and I can't find it, about, she brought up a good point. And I'm going back because I can't, okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So will this help with clarity around technology, like trying to get videos up and running again? So I wanted to talk about Neptune very quickly. I know I just talked about Saturday, but I want to circle back to that Neptune question because it's very important. Neptune is also mirrors, video, cameras, anything that's like reflective, okay? And so if your business, or if you have a hobby or a part-time thing or whatever, needing to deal with cameras like Zoom or shooting videos like Gretchen here on, for YouTube or for Facebook. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that's I'm getting so many new, but I'm not up to 1,000 yet, subscribers for YouTube. Or yes, photographs, cameras, videos, whatever. Neptune is the ruler of that. So if you have been feeling a little stalled lately, or that's because, remember, Neptune is stationary, getting ready to stationary. So it's just sitting there, it's like parked. The fact that it's going to start going backward on Friday is a good thing. Okay. So it'll like give us a little bit of a reboot. Yes, we can go back and go, like revisit, because it's a retrograde. So we're going to revisit those particular things. So I think it's something that, just be patient with yourself, Andrea, because I feel like that is coming back around. And we will be able to dial into those things again. It is a fun thing. So this weekend is fantastic. Friday, Saturday, I mean, we're having really like all this wonderful, great energy going on, except for Sunday. Sunday is Venus square Uranus. Now, remember when I said today, Mars is square Uranus and Mars is in Leo, and I said all those other planets are in Leo? Well, now we have Venus square Uranus. So remember, there was something like fiery and unexpected today that was causing issues. Well, Venus is now square Uranus. So that's going to be on Sunday, July 2nd at 10:34 a.m. Eastern time. So earlier than that if you're out on the West Coast. And so this is going to be just a glitch in the love life, area, because it's Venus square Uranus, Venus in Leo, Uranus is in Taurus. And so that's basically one of those things. Sorry if my video was breaking up again. Somebody else was texting me, so I apologize. And if you guys have trouble, sometimes you want to rewatch the video, go to YouTube, because it'll be cleared up at that point for sure when I load it onto YouTube. So Venus square Uranus can make love a little unpredictable. Sometimes it even causes a separation with a partner or a separation with a lover or, you know, whatever. I always say if you meet somebody new under that time, that's a fling usually. That's not usually a built to last. That's usually like a quick fling, or somebody much older or somebody much younger. Okay, that's on Sunday coming 10:34 a.m. Eastern time. And then I say Sunday, that's the peak of it. We'll feel that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday. We'll feel it in a little bubble there. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, so we had, and then I don't have time to go over because we're already in an hour, but next Monday is the full moon, and it is going to be a super moon, and it's going to be in Capricorn. So Cancers and Capricorns are really feeling this, okay? So Capricorn, this is your half birthday. Cancers, this is your actual birthday time, but Capricorn, this is your half birthday time. So remember, this can be a time of stress when it's your half birthday because it's almost like a full moon, right? So that's basically what the deal is. So that's going to be on Monday, July 3rd. It is going to be at 7:39 a.m. Eastern time on Monday. I'm not going to go over the full moon thing. And coming to another point is Tuesday is 4th of July. I am going to be taking next Monday night off. I am sorry. I know you guys love these lives, but I will be posting a pre-recorded video on YouTube. So you won't be stranded. You'll be watching me on YouTube directly. So, and I'll put out a reminder for everybody ahead of time that I won't be live next Monday night. I'll be taking next Monday night off. But you guys will still, I'm not going to leave you hanging totally. I will definitely be on YouTube, and I will post below. I practice what I preach. I take time off, and I try to, you know, do the things that I advise that my clients do, is to take some time and take a breath and all that. And for me, this is the time of year for rest, recuperation, and rejuvenation. That's basically, I'm in that cycle. So I'm going to do that. So, but I won't leave you stranded. I will be posting a video on YouTube. So definitely check that out. Now I'm going to pull a couple of cards. What do you guys need to know about this week ahead in astrology and all the good stuff? And if anybody has, maybe I'll answer 1 or 2 questions. Thank you. You guys are awesome. About the 4th of July. Thank you. Gosh, the chat was moving so fast. I'm not sure if anybody had any questions. Let's see. Oh, let's go back. So I answered some of those. So if anybody has any new questions for me, otherwise I'm just gonna pull a card about this week. So we have a lot of astrological energy this week. Like I said, today was the second chance new moon, so don't forget to write your new moon manifestation lists. Okay. Mercury moved into Cancer. Cancer is all about home and family. For the next 2 weeks until July 11th, we have Mercury in Cancer, which is the feelings. We have another week of opportunity with the Sun and Mercury forming trines with Saturn. We do have that little pesky Lilith Venus thing going on Wednesday. And then also on Saturday, Mercury and the Sun are coming together conjunct in Cancer. So that's going to be super, super Cancerian. And then Sunday, we have that little bit of a weird love life. The love life this week is the thing that's the weak thing, I think. But definitely the strong part is work and aspirations and goals and things like that. So weak love life, but strong work. Okay, I hope that helps. Oh, Ashley Jean, I'm so sorry. You put a plaque and you buried your father. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna pull it. Did you do something very creative for him? We have so many Ashleys on here. Ashley Jean, did you do something creative for him? Some sort of special thing? Like yes, you said you put a plaque there, but it feels like you did a special design, or there was some kind of like tribute type of thing, a special thing that you did for your dad. Creative expression, God's divine creativity is expressed through your actions. So I feel like you were guided to do this special thing. I don't know if there was like a special saying on the plaque or like a special little symbol or some kind of a thing, Ashley Jean, but it felt like that. And I feel like as if your creativity came through and he likes that. There's a nod to him. Oh, yes, exactly. You wrote a quote. Yeah. Yeah, because you were divinely inspired. Divinely inspired. You had the card of inspiration here about your dad. I'm sorry for your loss. He sees it. He was there. He saw, and he really likes it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He was there. He was there. He said he did something also with the rain. There was some, it's funny, people are posting about the rain, but I feel like he was able to like stop the rain for just like a minute or something, like at a time when it needed to be. It was like, I feel like there was some kind of like, you know, like it was blocked just enough so that you could do whatever it was, like walk to there or whatever. I don't know, but it felt like he helped you with the weather. Yeah. Your dad is sweet. Yeah, he's fine, honey. And he definitely saw what was going on. So he feels gratitude is what he was talking about, gratitude. So yeah, I hope that helps. You got good cards there. Wendy, oh, a couple people are saying you're missing your vendor. Okay. Wendy, I'm telling you, girl. Let me talk to you, Wendy. Ditto, last 3 Saturdays. Okay. Let's talk about if the weather is, you can block that. Let's talk about the rain. Okay. We don't want to block rain forever. We definitely don't, because, you know, we need rain, and look at all the fires that are going on and stuff. We need rain. But you can talk to the weather gods and say, hey, during like blah, 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 9 to 1 or whatever time you need, you know, ask that area to be blocked off so that you don't get the rain. And you can do that, and then say deluge afterwards, you know, like that kind of thing. But you can do that, affect it. I really do keep feeling very, very, very strongly, Wendy, that you have to be doing something like online. There's some kind, I've been saying this to you. I keep saying this to you. Look, you get blocks lifted, Wendy. You get blocks lifted. So that means that you're going to be, having better outings. But I really do feel that you have, you need to be doing online, like an Etsy store, a website, some kind of e-marketing, online marketing. So I want you to pursue that, Wendy, because I feel like my angels keep screaming at me. She says, I know everyone is telling me this online store. Well, if you're not listening, do you hear what I'm saying? When I'm laying down for you, girlfriend, if you're not listening, you'll start to get a block. So, because then the angels are knocking louder. See, at first they start with a little tap, tap. Hey, how about an online store? Tap, tap. And then you get more people. Tap, tap. And then you get more people. Tap, tap. And then you're getting pow, right? So they're just going to block. It's like she keeps going down this path, and we want her to go down this path. So they'll block that path. They're not doing it to F your life up. Okay? They're not doing that to F your life up. But they are doing it to gently divert you, and the gentleness starts getting rougher and rougher. So don't do that. Don't go there. And then go down this other pathway, because that's what the angels want for you. And if you don't listen, they'll just block it. And then your financials will dry up, and then you're going to be screwed. So what I do in that circumstance, because I've done this too, everybody's done it, where they go down the wrong path, and then they're like, la, 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 I don't want to listen. And the angels will start to dry you up. So say to the angels, I get it. And on my free time on Sunday, I'm going to work on this. Or on my free time Monday, or whatever day it is, free time, I'm going to work on this. But I need my finances still, but I'm getting the message. Now, if you still if you make them that promise, And then you still keep trying, and then you sort of forget, oh, well, they turned the finances back on, so I'm comfortable. I don't have to work on that other thing. They'll dry you up right again. They'll dry right up again. So you want to turn on the faucet. You want to get the money free flowing. You want to get your shows fine. You want to, they'll dry you right up. So you got to keep your promise to the angels, because they know. And when I say angels, it's your guardians, your spirit guides, your angels. They're trying to get you to go in this other direction, and you're maybe ignoring them a little. Okay. So you want to make sure that you listen and tell them, I heard you, and I promise you I'm going to work on it, but I need my earthly monetary to free flow. And then they'll turn it back on again. They'll turn on the finances again, because, you got to pay electric bill, and you got to pay for your new rehab and all these other things. So that's basically what the deal is. So if you get dried up in the one area, they might be trying to push you in a different department. And so see, Ashley Ann's even saying that that might be the thing with her as well. So that's what angels will do that, especially if you're trying to make a career change, or if you're trying to go in like one area, not in another area, whatever your thing is. They'll do it with relationships too, people. Monetary, work, relationships. They'll do it with all kinds of things, and it's like we just keep standing there at the locked door like, can it open? Can it open? And they're like, no, go down the hallway, go down the other door. That's what happens. The angels sometimes are trying to divert us. And so, but the message gets harsher and harsher and harsher over time if we don't listen. So you want to make sure you listen pretty much right out of the gate to avoid. And like I said, the reason why I know this is because I've done this in my own life, and I've advised so many clients as well to help them. I've done it myself. I've stared at the locked door myself and like, why won't this open? Duh, because the angels are telling me to go this other way, and I'm not listening. So sometimes that's what happens. And it's something that really can help us. Okay, I'm going to pull one card. What do we all need to know for this coming week ahead? With all of this opportunity, I told you have a lot of opportunity, but also hard work. There's opportunity. There's maybe weak in the love department, but we have strong goals and dreams and aspirations and things we need. We got work to do. This week is work. Ooh. All right, I pulled out two cards by accident, but that means accidents aren't accidents in the card world. Like this means that this is the deal. First one is agent or manager, and I love this card, agent or manager. It's so funny, this is what we're talking about. Your work expands its reach as you partner with a professional who can help you. So if you have a roadblock in reference to technology, doing a website, maybe you need to ask somebody. It doesn't mean you have to hire somebody, by the way. I don't have a card that says hire somebody or talk to a friend. It doesn't say that. So, but I would say you could talk to just somebody in the know. Somebody that's trusted, somebody that that's done it before you, maybe another professional or somebody else that you admire. And of course, we got the card of sensitivity that came out with this too. Your sensitive feelings are your muse and can be an inspiration for your creativity. Remember, I've been talking about this Cancerian, touchy-feely, being vulnerable, sensitive, all the feelings. This is the sensitivity card. So we have to make sure that we, we're feeling the feels. If we need to cry, we'll cry. It's just tears never hurt anybody. We can cry. We can cry the tears if we need to. Feel sentimental. Feel the feelings. That's what Cancer season's for. That's what we're supposed to be doing. So I hope that helps everybody. I know I missed a bunch of your comments. You guys are so amazing. If you guys can comment on my YouTube channel as well, it really does help me. I know Wendy and others have been, just Andrea too has been so awesome. You guys comment on the YouTube because that helps the algorithm to go up. It does take me overnight, but it takes 6 hours or so to load the video. So that's why it doesn't get put on usually until like early in the morning on Tuesday, because that's why it takes a long time. So anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for supporting my work. If you guys wouldn't mind going ahead and, like I said, like and share. If you want to have a personalized astrological session with me, please feel free to reach out, send me a DM or text message me. I love text messages. That really helps to expedite things. And lots of love to everybody. Next Monday night, I'm going to be taking a little time off, but I'm going to be posting my video so you guys can watch it. All right, everybody. Lots of love. Namaste. Take care.